Is net zero a scam? Before I answer my opinion to that question, I'd like to first point out here is British Steel. A number of days since they announced the closure of multiple plants that results in thousands of steel workers losing their jobs. It's a devastating time. I also want to preface this by the definition of net zero and the definition of scam. Net zero is all about the greenhouse gases, the gases that are going out into the atmosphere, and the balance between the production of greenhouse gases to the removal of greenhouse gases. And therefore, when you think of the globe as a whole, as in the total, whether that is the UK, whether that is the US, whether that is China, whether that is Africa, the conversation is a global conversation, which basically means if this plant here begins to stop producing, greenhouse gases, but so theirs comes down, but someone in China produces more, then you have, it equals, it basically balances itself out. So therefore, you have to consider what actions are we taking here to what actions are we taking in other places around the world? And is it an even playing field? That's number one preface. Number two preface is what the definition of a scam is. A scam, in my opinion, and please do correct me if you feel like I'm wrong, but a scam is if something is promised and not delivered. So if I say to you that I'm going to talk about net zero in this video, but I don't talk about net zero in this video, and I started talking about how amazing this lake is, and I didn't even mention net zero at all, then that could be defined as a scam, right? Because I've not mentioned it. I've got a van going to walk past here. So now I've said that, sorry about that. So now I've said the definition of a scam, then the answer is, or the promise to us was, energy costs would also come down as a result. We go green and energy prices for me and you start to go down. Have you experienced this? Energy is one of the fundamental drivers to costs. It's pretty much has an influence on travel, on electricity, right? Gas, water, energy is absolutely everything. It's one of the fundamental drivers. And every single cost has gone up. So therefore, when you think about that, my honest opinion, based on everything that I've seen and experienced, I would have to say that net zero is therefore a scam. And we need to do something about it, because we have British Steel here going through devastating times, and just one, it's not the only factor, of course, I understand that, but one of the major factors is the amount of environmental impact that a company like this in the UK has to deal with. When you think about the amount of taxes, the amount of challenges, the amount of duties that they have to pay, they are forced to make changes to green ways of working, which is making it extremely difficult for a company like this to ultimately be able to survive. So get in the comments down below, let me know, is net zero a scam to you? Why is this agenda continue to be pushed? I understand, I believe, I'm sure just like you, we're conscious of energy. Turn the lights off when you can turn the lights off, recycle, do the best you possibly can. But what's too far? Do we have the capabilities? If it's not a level playing field where a company in the UK that's so fundamental to security, infrastructure, defence, British Steel, if a company is continuing to struggle like this on the global stage because other companies can just outsource to China and get it still cheaper than it's just on the doorstep, then the question needs to be asked, what is going on? And net zero is one of the fundamental parts to that. So comment down below, let me know. It'll be a great conversation down below. And we're going to hit the streets and also ask people about net zero. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. I'll speak to you soon.